Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
So crack open those beers, open that bottle of wine, pour yourself a shot, because this is the lost art of common sense.
Sweet way to promote drinking.
Hell yeah, promote drinking, because I'm assuming children do not watch this show.
Well,
Or should they? This week, Josh, we are talking about who's the incumbent. So
strangely enough, that is a pertinent question.
That is a question that is weirdly pertinent right now. So let's just get right to it, Josh. Just so everyone knows, tell us who's the incumbent.
Barack Obama. Technically, on paper, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They are the incumbents. The top two. Yes. You wouldn't know it lately, but
no. Why are they acting like she's not the VP?
I think it's kind of their way of like trying to look past their record. Like, I don't understand. Like, if I was a Democrat voter and they were polling something like this, I would feel very insulted because you had to be really dumb to fall for this. And they have to assume that their voting base is really dumb. Like that. I mean, other than that, like they're doing all kinds of weird stuff that I just don't get.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get why they're doing it because it's been such a failure the last 3.5 years. Like, no one's happy. Like, I don't see how anybody could be happy with how things have been going. So it's best to distance her from being the incumbent. But I mean, she is. So yeah, unless you're a complete effing idiot, and maybe, I don't know. But I get it. I wouldn't want people to know that I'm vice president to this dumpster fire of, an administration.
Well, the weird thing is like how she says, we're not going back. To what? They do realize, not just Trump. In the last 16 years, a Republican has only been in office for 4 of those.
Yes. It's been a downhill slide since 2008. Let's be real.
That's when the fundamentally changing America happened. And not for the better.
Because, it's been worse. Racial tensions have never been worse. Kids are getting transitioned, and people are supporting it. There's porn in schools. Nothing has really gone well. None of these are hot. Like, people are not for any of this. Like, the main it is not polling well. Like, it's like 70%. Like, people don't like any of these things that are happening. And I don't know how do we not like any of this stuff and still vote Democrat? I don't know.
I don't get it.
It's like you're a big dummy. I don't know. Well, is this a sustainable strategy? Can this last? Are people going to wake up that maybe, Donald Trump isn't in office?
Yeah, I think they already are because Trump's calling her out on it, and it's everything she's doing is not sustainable.
Well,
at all. The whole she finally did an interview, which you may get into more later, or we will treat for that. But even the left is starting to push on it more, and it's the same thing. Like, people go back in your time machine, look at 2019, 2020. She was super hot coming in, up in the polls, and then literally as soon as she started talking off script, she just nosedived, burned it.
Yeah, I don't think she did well at all. And no, this is not a sustainable strategy. I mean, it kind of worked for Biden, but I mean, that was during COVID. So there was a reason that, he wasn't doing interviews, at least they could say, because, he's old, feeble, senile. And
well, that's literally what they're doing is they're trying to do the basement strategy with Kamala.
Yeah.
They both don't talk good.
I mean, I don't know if this is a question. I can't remember what I actually wrote down for questions, but I mean, how much of this do you blame on the media?
All of it?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I mean, you can't have like the amount of people. I mean, that was the problem with the debate that Trump and Biden did. Like people that were only listening to the 3-letter, well, I guess Fox is 3-letter, but MSNBC, NBC, CNN, ABC, all that shit. They literally, I guess, somehow didn't know that Biden was like touched.
Well, they did once he went on no more than 2 weeks before, a week before he did the debate. Like people were telling him how he's the sharpest he's ever been. How this is Joe Biden is he's sharp as a tack. Then also he did the debate and everybody's like, oh, we had no idea he was this bad. Yeah. Even though I just talked to him a week ago, come on, everybody could see from the beginning that Joe Biden was a senile old man. And what they're doing, and they know the same about Kamala. She's not senile. She's just bad. I mean, she's bad at talking. She gets nervous. You could tell that, from when talk about later, the interview, she constantly looked down. She has certain phrases that she uses when she has to think of an answer, and her answers are always mush. I mean, so yes, keeping her in the basement strategy is also and pretending she's not in office. I mean, there are two strategies that seem to be working somehow.
I mean, they are, but they kind of aren't at the same time. I mean, you look at the polls. She got a bump when she first got in, and it depends. Like everyone, oh well, this poll says this poll says that. She really hasn't gone anywhere, and she hasn't gotten the bumps they were expecting to happen.
Exactly.
She literally has only been in this for a month, and she's already plateaued.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else she can do to she's already copying Trump's policies. So, what else she could do?
I don't know. I think the Fed's going to probably lower the interest rates, which she's going to claim is, good. But, you can also say that the Fed's lowering the interest rate because they lied about 818,000 jobs.
Well, would that cause interest rates to go down by having less jobs?
Because it's kind of leveling out. The economy is leveling out. Somehow job loss actually lowers interest rates. It's weird, but it does.
Well, you know why? Because less people have less money.
Yeah.
So they can't buy things. So then other people with money can.
Yeah. So they have to lower interest rates and stuff. So the people that don't have as much money can buy it. But when everybody has money, they have high interest rates. Plus, you feed a bunch of money into the system, because of Ukraine or whatever, who just crashed a $1 billion plane. I don't know how much they cost, probably hundreds of millions though. An F-16?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hundreds of millions of dollars they just crashed because they didn't know how to fly them. So
it's like, oh, sorry, we wrecked the planes, so we get 10 more.
They did ask for more money, so again.
Yeah, it's
while they're invading Russia-owned territory or whatever, which I don't know if it's territory. We'll get into that later, maybe. It's not a question I want to ask. Maybe I will. But when you blow money into the system, and that's also how inflation happens. Because if money's going into the system, usually jobs go up, job rates go down, unemployment goes down because technically there's more money in the system for people to spend. So, it's the economy's weird, and I don't really want to talk about it. So let's just go back to VP Harris. Well, actually, let's go to Joe Biden. Where is Joe Biden? he has nothing on his schedule this week because he's on vacation for the second week in a row. He also said he was going to be, work harder than ever during his last months of office. And so far, working harder than ever is taking a vacation. And since, and he had the 1 week he did work, he had 2 things on his schedule.
He never technically said what he was going to be working hard at.
I don't know. Does he have this light schedule to keep the illusion that she is not the incumbent? Because if everybody just forgets about Joe Biden, somehow.
The funny thing is the dude hasn't been in the news. He went off to vacation at the DNC and nobody gives a shit. Because I think, honestly, deep down inside, nobody believes that dude is running the country.
So Matt Walsh, he posed this question, right? He goes, so Joe Biden's not running the country. Kamala Harris is, off wherever. Who's running the country? And do we really need a president?
Well, we do, because currently who's running the president are bureaucrats, unelected officials, and that's kind of what got us to where we are now.
Yeah.
So, we definitely need a president. But
people are garbage.
We need a real president.
Except for the NSA guy listening to our podcast. You're awesome,
great.
Dude. You're awesome, dude. God, at least put the number on something, watch it on YouTube or, act like you're actually a follower or something. At least like, subscribe, and save or share, buddy. Do all that stuff. Share it with your NSA pals. Good for a laugh. These guys are dumb. Something.
Yeah, but like that, that does prove. And so somebody said, Washington, D.C. is, if Trump gets reelected, Washington, D.C. is going to be a good place to buy real estate because it's, after. Right now would be a good time to get out of the real estate market in Washington if he does what he says he's going to do.
I hope he does. I hope he's not just saying this crap to, then like when he said he was going to go after Hillary for her emails and decide not to.
I think at this point he kind of, he said he was going to drain the swamp, so it wouldn't be anything new. And
yeah, but everybody says that.
But it's a little different because he's literally been attacked by that for 8 years.
Yeah. You would have to feel like he has to have some kind of vendetta.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if he went in and wiped out the swamp and got rid of all this bureaucracy, people might be like, oh, he did that out of revenge and blah, blah, blah. But, at the end of the day, it makes the country all the better for it. So I don't give a shit if he's laughing his ass off and giddy about doing it or if he's just doing it because he knows it's what's best for the country.
Hopefully it's for both. I'd like to see him laughing as he's firing people like, you're fired. Why did I do it in Arnold Schwarzenegger voice? I don't know.
You're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. Get out.
It's funny, though. Arnold Schwarzenegger did do a season of The Apprentice. So
see, he got fired, didn't he?
No, I think he was like the Trump.
Oh, he did. Oh, he was the Trump?
I'm pretty sure.
No, I didn't know that.
No, there probably was an actual video called You're Fired.
I never. We should have that. We should flick that up. I want that video to put up sometimes.
I'll have to look that up. Get out of here!
Get to the chopper! Yeah. All right. How does Trump battle a strategy where she doesn't have to answer questions and she is not the incumbent?
Well, he's basically going to have to keep doing what he's doing, pointing out the fact that he is not the incumbent president or the administration, how things were better under him. And that's why they said the reason why it was so bad for us is because we were recovering from COVID. I'm like, shut up. He had already had the economy turned around.
Yeah.
The economy went to shit because they spent money like assholes.
Yeah.
And
if there was one thing I got to blame Trump for is he spent too much money in his last year, for the COVID shit. We should never have gotten a check. We shouldn't have got a check, period, for any of that shit.
Yeah.
Because the country shouldn't have been shut down, period. Unless they were old people or, you fat asses. Obese people, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you use the clinical term.
Yes. Yeah. In case you didn't know, I use the medical term. Fat asses.
It's like, well, I've looked at your chart, and you got a bad case of the fat asses. Or if you're Joe Biden, you got a bad case of the fat.
The fat. Listen here, fat. That was still one of the best things I ever heard any politician ever say. And it was fantastic. Listen here, fat.
Yeah. That was great.
It was the one time I liked the dude. Yeah. Like, oh, good for him.
I mean, granted, he has not done anything to cement a legacy as far as being a president or a senator or a vice president. He's a loser in all those, but man, he really cemented himself in that comment. Listen up, fat.
Listen here, fat.
Yeah, that's great.
Listen here, fat. I'm the party who doesn't body shame.
We're all about diversity, except for you, fat.
Except for you, fat. F you.
Ask me questions.
Yeah, how dare you, sir? Okay.
That's pretty much got to be a strategy, though. He needs to keep pushing his policy, pointing out the differences. We'll show the most recent ad that he put out this morning, and keep doing things like that. And then I think things will.
Well, let's just show the ad now.
We'll roll that in right now.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber. They should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes, I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I am prepared to pass a Green New Deal.
I support a mandatory buyback program. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals. The idea that more police equals more safety, that's just wrong.
Policing, as we know, goes all the way back to slave patrols and that idea.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
We need to take a look at these budgets.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic.
Chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing.
And just for, it did say Trump Vance at the end of that. I had to clip it off because it was like 10 or 15 seconds of just nothing.
Yeah,
I can that.
I can
we have an audio part of the podcast, so we already did that last week.
Yeah, we had that awkward silence, and I don't know. That's a pretty good ad, though. I mean, she's obviously a radical. I mean, the whole Democratic base is anymore radicalized, and I mean, technically, I don't think she's Joe Biden, only younger and a female, and a minority. Maybe.
That's what ticks me off though when people go out and like, why are you supporting Hillary? Because she's great. Oh yeah, what has she done? Well, I don't know what she's done, but she's a woman.
Harris, not Hillary.
Yeah, Harris. She's a woman, and she's a woman of color. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, way to stake your future on that.
Yeah, I mean, come on, do a little dive.
I would assume people that dumb don't actually vote, but they do.
They do, and that's the problem. Is the dum-dums are the ones voting. And I mean, let's go back. Let's go to the next question. Do they think Americans and their base are this dumb?
I truly believe that the Democrats in power think that their constituents are stupid. Like, will literally believe whatever they're told. They are at least the 40 to 43% of the population that Beznevoff, something like that, said will literally do whatever they're told. Will believe whatever they're told. That is basically the Democrat Party.
Yeah. I mean, look at the moron I just spoke to today on X, got an argument with.
Yeah.
I mean, because she wanted to blame Afghanistan on Trump. Like, Biden wasn't in office. Like, Biden is not the most powerful man in the world. He still is. I mean,
it's Trump, so he made a deal. And, like, even Trump said, and if they didn't meet these benchmarks and he wasn't going to leave. And then he was saying he was thinking of keeping 2,500 people there anyway. And I'm pretty sure he did not want to give up Bagram.
No, he wanted to keep Bagram because it was a strategic air base next to China.
Yeah, for when we go to war with China.
If we go to war with China.
Yeah, I meant if.
It depends who wins this year.
I can guarantee you. Well, I can't guarantee it. If Hillary gets elected, there's a good chance.
Harris.
Harris. Why do I keep saying
it?
Hillary?
Doesn't
They're
matter
both
because
annoying.
they're all interchangeable.
Yeah,
because
they're all
none
annoying.
of them, I think Hillary would have been harder to control than Harris. I think, Harris just wants to be there to.
Well, Hillary will do anything for money. Harris will literally do whatever she's told because she fails up.
Yeah,
that's why she's so bad and requires notes because she hasn't like picked up anything from years of failing up. She just like, I just do stuff and then I get promoted. And
she's like that dude from Office Space. He's like, I don't care. I don't really want to be in here.
Yeah,
they're like, you get a promotion.
You're not being challenged enough. We should make you president.
Yeah,
that'll make you wake up and do stuff.
But it won't. Like, you listen to her, you watch her, even on the interview, which was taped, and she got like hard questions, but
There was like pushback on the first few questions, and it just went into bullshit. But.
Yeah, but then even she failed at answering them, and she didn't get any like follow-ups. That was the problem, was there's no follow-up questions. So I mean, it was.
I don't understand why she doesn't do an interview. No, I mean, I understand why she wouldn't. But like everyone's like, oh, she won't do Fox News, blah, 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 this or that. Like Brett Baer and Martha McCallum, something like that, they're fair reporters. Like, they're pretty middle of the road as far as they're going to ask questions. They're going to call you on your bullshit. But it's not going to be like Trump getting interviewed by that one lady from CNN who just came off as a huge bitch. No, it wasn't Trump. It was Vance. Did you see parts of that interview?
Yeah, no, she was brutal on him.
Yeah, she was just being a bitch.
Yeah, Dana Bash is.
She doesn't
hide being a Democrat.
Yeah, but did you like pick up on Dana Bash seemed uncomfortable giving the interview?
Well, she didn't want to ask those hard questions, but I guarantee that.
But did you pick up like that awkwardness?
Yeah, well,
she wasn't like that with Trump.
No, because I guarantee she's like, Jesus Christ, this person's an idiot.
Like, okay, I'm going to ask a question, and then hopefully she doesn't mess it up. And then she's like, did you work at McDonald's? Which apparently she didn't.
No.
So she didn't work at McDonald's. I guess Walls was never a head coach.
Nah, he's an assistant coach, a volunteer assistant coach.
So he was just some weird dude.
Yeah, like he was like
showed up.
He was the Sandusky of that school.
I'm just telling you, the dude's got the look.
He was the Penn State Sandusky of that high school.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying he did the same thing.
I won't be surprised if people don't.
He was just a guy that came into the building and talked to the young kids.
Yeah,
So I mean,
but it's not his fault, Kevin. Sometimes his grammar's not good. I don't know what the hell that means.
We will talk about the whole thing later.
Yes. Okay.
That will be. I don't want because. Well, let's just get to the last question.
Okay.
Then, and here it is. Everybody can read it.
The answer is yes.
Hey, you let them answer.
Oh, comment below. Don't have any comments.
No, but the real last question: will this basement strategy be the new playbook for the Dems?
I could see him trying it, but I think if the underlying polls and some of the stuff coming out, it kind of looks like Trump does have a good chance of just getting a blowout with the way things are going and the way he's campaigning versus how Kamala's campaigning. I mean, you're not going to be able to do it. Like, they had an excuse with Biden, kind of. They don't have one with Kamala.
Well, I mean, they do. She's horrible.
You can't. Okay, so look, I know you wanted to do interviews, you wanted to debate, but she's dumb.
Yeah, we don't want her talking, so.
I just don't think that plays well.
All right, well, that's all I had for this section. Are you ready to go on to winners and losers?
Heck yeah!
In my book, you're a winner too. I think you're a loser.
All right.
All right, Josh, let's go to you. As always, we start with the negative. Who is your loser?
Ben Stiller again.
Again.
Yep. He's the only. No, he might. Because he's done media a couple times. But yeah, he asked, like, why he's supporting Kamala. And it's like, because it's time for a change. Like, we need a change. From the 3.5 years of Democrat control, you stupid, entitled Hollywood asshole.
What I heard, and this is probably just completely fake, is they think they have something on him to where they're making him say this stupid shit.
Was he on the jet, Kevin?
I don't know. It was like one of them Diddy moments where all of a sudden everything came out on P. Diddy like at once.
I mean, heck, they could, because I just don't understand how you can write, direct, act, and then be that stupid.
I don't think he is. Like, I'm saying that somebody's either paying him or somebody's got something on him to where, or I mean, maybe he's just fucking anti-Trump. Like, I don't understand why anybody's anti-Trump. I get he's mean, but our country ran pretty well.
I don't understand somebody being like that to the extent to where they're willing to put the country at risk.
That's what I don't get. Like, you see what happened for the last 3.5 years. The world is burning. England's gone full communism. Like, the whole fucking Europe actually has gone communism. The most democratic state somehow is probably Ukraine, who doesn't have an election because of war. But at least they can say what they want, I think. Everybody else, you go to jail if you say what we talk about, we would be in jail.
Well, you never know. I mean, you talk shit about the EU and how they're garbage, and they might come try to take us over.
They're not watching this shitty ass show.
I'm going to send it to them, Kevin.
Good, send it to them. Fuck
what
them.
were you not supposed to say?
I don't know that the UK president's a fucking dipshit. So is the rest of Europe.
EU's communist. They suck.
Yeah, come after us, EU.
They have bad.
EU
criminals.
is PU.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll just send that episode over there. That'll get us a free trip to Europe.
Ooh, I've always wanted to visit Europe.
No,
not now, but I mean,
shipped over there and then get a bill.
When it was under democracy, I kind of wanted to visit Europe. Now I don't want to go there because I'm going to get arrested.
Yeah.
And,
I'm American.
You see Germany as they're getting more stringent knife laws because a lot of people are getting stabbed.
Well, who are they getting stabbed by?
Well, that's not the problem, Josh. It's that, cutlery.
I'm just asking questions.
The knives are doing the stabbing, Josh.
Is it the knives? Is
it the knives? It's like the guns do the shooting here.
They're flying
not
out of
the
people.
Shelves. The guns do the shooting here.
Oh, that's true.
So
they walk out the door and just wreak havoc.
Yeah.
Who's your loser, Kevin?
Immigrant children. I just found out that I didn't just find out, but I found out like days ago that there's 300,000 missing children in the U.S. that have immigrated, that have been turned over to either just let go into the U.S. or turned over to people who were not relatives. So they're either sex slaves, or they're being abused, or they're being used for other people to come into the country.
Yeah, that's
300,000. It's like 320,000.
Yeah, it's almost 10% of the population of the legal population of the United States.
This is an amazing fact. If you weren't going to vote for a Democrat,
1%.
If you were going to not vote for him, this would be the reason you shouldn't vote for him.
Well, the fact that the media doesn't report this stuff and make it a bigger deal, that's why the media is just horrible. And I hope Trump takes frickin' what's his face for everything that dude owns. Like, literally just bankrupts that asshole.
I hope so too. I mean, it's garbage that they are not reporting on this because it makes the Democrats look bad. You are all right, everybody. ABC, NBC, and CNN.
MSNBC.
Your pieces. Well, that says NBC, dipshit.
MSNBC and NBC are different.
Are they?
One has two more letters.
Are they not owned by the same company?
I don't know.
Well, all right, it stands. They're pieces of shit. They should fucking all look into the mirror and realize that they're just as guilty as anyone for this immigration crisis, for these children, because they could do something. They could fucking ask questions. They could demand that Biden and Harris do something about the border, because I'm sorry, but the president has full jurisdiction over the border. That is one thing he actually has full power over. Tomorrow, he said, hey, I want to close the border. Boom, border's closed.
That's true. And no, Mr. Olson, I do not think Kamala Harris is really ahead in the polls. No. Somebody's not paying attention to the comments. That's Kevin's job.
I'm sorry. I was on the banners. Yeah, no.
Well, if you notice under her names, really... Josh does more than Kevin. Kevin does little to nothing.
That is true.
That is a true statement.
I just bitch about things.
And yes, go Hawks. I'm still a Hawks fan.
Fucking Hawkeyes, buddy. Tomorrow, winning by 40. New offense. Woo! All right. All right. Well, Josh, who's your winner?
I went ahead and picked JFK or RFK Jr. just because
they can't.
But I picked him solely because, like, he spit in the face of the Democrats, his family members that wrote him off, and like that's a move you do for the good of the country, not for yourself. I mean, it is. I mean, granted, he probably saw that he has no chance of winning, but you could call it a selfless act.
It is a selfless act. He's doing it for the betterment of the country. I mean, he could stay in there. I mean, he wouldn't get anything, but I mean, if he gets over 10%, I think he can actually start a third party, and they would actually get funding for that party or whatever.
Well, the problem is, I think he pulls from both sides. So, like, by him, but the people that would vote for him from the left, I don't think they would vote for Kamala either.
No, I don't think so. I would hope not. I mean, how's it? RFK is so far off from Kamala that
environmentally stuff, he's pretty close. But.
Yeah, but like the immigration crisis, obviously the COVID and medical and stuff like that, he's way off.
Yeah.
Hold on, I went mute.
No, you didn't.
No, I went mute on my end. Because I bumped my input.
Professionalism.
Well, it's a garbage. It's a garbage plug-in, Mike.
Oh, there you go.
All right. My winner is, well, me. Motherfucking football season. Woo! Yeah! Football! I don't have to concentrate solely on politics anymore. I have I can watch football on Saturday and Sunday and just kind of decompress, then get sad again with the state of the country on Monday through Friday.
Yep. And when you're at Kevin's house in his bar watching football, remember to comment below. Inquisitive minds want to know.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to do Iowa Hawkeyes are going to the playoffs this year.
It's starting to sound like a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Dude, this is our year. After this year, I don't think they'll do it again for another 20, but they have this year.
Well, they got
the team. Coach. Got the team this year. Same coach. But he won't be there tomorrow because he got suspended.
Oh, that's why they're going to win by 40.
But they might.
Oh.
Getting that fucking, like Chris said, forward pass. We're just doing it now in Iowa. Is Josh in a tent? Yeah, kind of.
I'm in an attic.
A tent of sadness and despair.
This is my tent of awesomeness with a bunch of booze. That's right.
This lady makes him go outside to do this because she doesn't.
I'm in a tent.
Big black dick. Yeah. All right, Josh. Well, that's all I had for winners and losers.
Wow. All right.
In my book, you're a winner too. I think you're a loser.
Now we'll roll right into Trump Truth.
What I say is what I say.
All right, this is a longer one. This is a really long one, so bear with me. I have to read off my phone, so I didn't want to tape it out. Trump Truth. I have reached an agreement with the radical left Democrats for a debate. Debate with Comrade Kamala Harris. It will be broadcast live on ABC. Fake news, by far the nastiest and most unfair news. By far the nastiest and most unfair newscaster in the business on Tuesday, September 10th, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The rules will be the same as the CNN debate, which seemed to work out well for everyone except, perhaps, crooked Joe Biden. The debate will be stand up, and candidates cannot bring notes or cheat sheets. We have also been given assurances by ABC that this will be a fair and equitable debate, and that neither side will be given the questions in advance. No Donna Brazil? I don't know who that is. Harris would not agree to the Fox News debate on September 4th, but the date will be held open in case she changes her mind or flip-flops, as she has done on every single one of her long-held and cherished policy beliefs. This guy cracks me up. A possible third debate, which would go to NBC fake news, has not been agreed to by the radical left. God bless America.
What I say is what I say.
Yeah, that dude's funny.
That dude is just hilarious. He is something else.
Yeah. Well, let's roll right into the happenings of the week, Kevin.
All right.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening? Now, Kevin.
Hey, you couldn't hear that I said something stupid. Happenings of the week. Tulsi Gabbard endorses Donald Trump.
The funny thing is that wasn't really surprising. I thought she already did, but I guess it's official now. Like, I figure if you're helping someone prep for a debate.
Yeah, you assume, but I don't think she officially do it. So basically, when Democrats, Gabbard, and RFK have endorsed Donald Trump, then we'll go to this. A bunch of neocons have endorsed Harris.
Yeah, I can't believe somebody shared, George Bush, was it Bush, Cheney, Romney, like all of his aides and stuff endorsed Hillary. I'm like, okay.
Harris.
Yeah, and
Harris.
Harris. Jesus. Man, what the hell? Maybe I got to touch with Joe Biden. I got touched by Joe Biden. Oh, I don't have long enough hair.
You do on your face, buddy.
Sniffing my beard.
I heard he's a beard sniffer.
I want to sniff your face. What? But all endorsed Harris. So, and it's like, yeah, and none of those people, like, Bush is doing nothing but ruining his legacy. I don't know what the hell he thinks he's doing. Like, he literally thinks by, like, not getting behind Trump, not getting in line with the Republican Party, which is aligning himself with the left, whether or not he likes it or not, is ruining his legacy, if for what he has. And after I saw that little documentary, that dude can go get fucked. So,
yeah. Weirdly, George Bush did have one of the best ideas ever in probably politics, which got rejected. You're talking about GW, right?
GW.
He wanted to privatize Social Security, which at the time, the Dow Jones was at like 10,100 something. And right now, the Dow is at 40 something, like 40,000. So basically, your Social Security would have quadrupled if we would have just privatized it.
But instead,
we let the government
thing is Social Security.
But we let the government control the Social Security because they've done so good at spending and wasting money that, they should control ours more.
That's why I literally think people believe that there's like a bank account with like a bunch of money in it for Social Security, and there's not. It's all just part of the debt and printing money.
Yeah.
All of our taxes we pay every year just pays the interest on the money that they just keep on printing and keep on spending.
It's $1 trillion interest.
Yeah.
We're not even close to paying that. We're paying a
I'm pretty sure we could knock out about half the debt if we just told China to get fucked over COVID.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff you can do, though, when your economy's strong and you're the strongest military country on the planet. You can tell someone to go get fucked.
You definitely can.
It's like, oh, yeah? Yeah, what are you going to do? It's like, you crippled our economy. You caused all this shit with COVID. So, yeah, we're just going to call our debt with you even.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Oh, but it just did. And you know what? You're going to buy our debt from all these other people, and then we're going to go ahead and write that off, too.
It just doesn't, I don't know. We're not going to get out of debt. There's just no way. We're not going to
if we become an energy dominant country,
we will not ever have a surplus. Ever.
Yeah, we can.
No.
Now you have to have major cuts. But if we become an energy dominant company, we can get out of debt.
Country. We're not a company.
So I said country.
U.S. Incorporated. See, you just incorporate yourself.
And the U.S. government is kind of like a corporation, though. I mean,
unfortunately, it's a poorly ran incorporation.
We got the dude from Walt Disney making decisions for the country, it seems like. And that guy can talk. His problem is he's a really good liar.
Yeah. They're all good liars.
Bastards. I already talked about the 300,000 missing children, which is horrible.
Yeah, that was a downer. Harrison Walls, we talked a little bit about the interview. I didn't see the whole thing. I guess I should have, because it was only like 16 minutes of Harris actually answering questions.
It was a short interview. And they're like, oh, we didn't cut anything out. That was the whole interview. You don't need to pay attention to all the bullshit messages we're getting on Facebook.
I know. Fucking foreigners. You can't help us go bigger. You just want my money. You bastards.
Like, no, you send me $100, I send you like $1,000,000.
It was garbage. She did horribly. She did a bunch of word salad bullshit. She didn't really answer any questions. Walls, he misspoke about?
No, he said
was the stolen power, or was it the
weapons? She asked him about the weapons of war. She's like, but you're in active war, and then he's like, yeah, well sometimes I get my grammar bad. It's like, I don't think bad grammar turns a statement into a lie.
No, see, this is.
I got this problem where I don't use my words good.
I 100% guarantee somebody out there believes that, he just misspoke. No, he lied. You don't misspeak about it. It was a fucking lie. He's a garbage person. I mean,
that whole thing was just awkward and horrible, though.
Well, the whole setting, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do. But
some people think that the reason why she was sitting so low is because she had notes in front of her, and so she could check her notes without it being obvious.
Yeah, because she was always looking down. It looked like she was afraid. I mean, I'm sorry, but when you look down,
here's the idea. Do the interview at a bar.
Well, they did it like a cafe, I think.
Yeah, according to Trump, she was behind a huge desk or a table.
I just don't know. I think it was at a cafe. I think their whole thing was to have people there, but security, as she said, no. Security's like, no. So it just looked like it, like Matt Walsh said, it was like a smaller town's fucking airport in the waiting area. It just looked awkward. It was very bland. It was very gray. There was just cups sitting around for some reason. It was very awkward area. Then, her being her, she said a bunch of stuff without saying anything.
Well, everything about it literally was awkward as shit.
It was a horrible interview. No one should have came out of that being like, yep, that's my president.
Yeah, it's like that thing you read about. If she did all this amazing stuff, MAGA would still say that she did horrible. It's like, well, we don't know because she didn't.
Yeah.
It's like when she's like, and we're going to make deadlines based on time. What?
Yeah. Like what she does is she repeats words and puts in synonyms for the words or repeats the words in a different order. And that's her answer.
I mean, she could have said
like time is time, but it takes place over a certain amount of this time. So we had to control that time to, do our best. That's her. That's an answer she would absolutely say.
Oh, yeah. And it'd be like, and time is circular when it's on your watch.
Technically,
I mean, that's the kind of shit she says. It's like, I could see her saying something like, we're not going to have, any more of these soft deadlines. It's all going to be hard deadlines. We're going to set a date and we're going to hit it. Nope. We're going to make our deadlines based around time.
Hey, Chris, we kind of did with the Trump truth, I guess. I mean, they agreed on one. Technically, there was a controversy because she wanted hot mics or no mute, but I think they agreed on muted. Everything that was with Biden, the previous debate with Biden is going to happen for this debate. I mean, the only real controversy is she's running from the other two that should happen because no one knows anything about her. I'm sorry, but you should be debating your ass off.
Now, are those actually set in stone?
What?
No. Like what Chris said, I think like she says she doesn't want muted mics. I don't think her side is technically. I think like they said, yeah, we'll do it, but they're still trying to get stuff changed.
They are, but they have agreed. They formally agreed to everything from the previous debate. That's what. I don't know if she's agreed. I don't know if her side actually said they agreed to it. Trump said they agreed to it. So I mean. They're going to try to do whatever especially after this interview, they're going to try to do whatever they can to get out of this debate because they know she's an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
So, and by they, I mean the whole DNC and bureaucrats and all that shit in Washington. And they know she's an idiot, but she's a useful puppet. So they're going to try to get her in by not doing any debates. So I can see them trying to pull a fast one and saying, no, we don't agree to this.
Yeah, so I'd say, oh no, we can agree that was and she had to do it, but holy crap.
Oh yeah, she was actually getting like people from CNN and like MSNBC asking her why she's not doing an interview yet. I mean, it was 40 effing days.
Yeah.
40 days she did not do one question from the press. She still hasn't done a press conference. Why is no one...
She asked a couple questions.
I know a Democrat's not going to watch this. But if you are, you're fucking retarded. If you're voting for Kamala Harris.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And I mean it with no disrespect for, mentally handicapped people. I mean, and in the most derogatory way.
Just the most take it as personal as humanly possible way. Turn anyone dumb enough to vote for Kamala Harris.
You're dumber than a fucking rock. Let's just say that. Jesus.
You're so dumb as a rock you'd roll uphill.
Yeah. There you go. Is there anything else you want to say about?
No,
it was bad. The media is going to act like it's good because, they're shills. So media's garbage. Let's go to the SAVE Act. Josh, do you know anything about it, or do you want me to explain it?
You probably know more about it than I do. I know it has to do with voter integrity and making sure that anyone.
So you either have to bring in a birth certificate, passport, or some proof that you're a citizen of the United States to vote. Which I feel like that seems like a good idea. They found 2,000 people in Texas who illegally voted in previous elections. They didn't say if it was for state, local, or just people registered. Yeah, you're right. So they are going to set up another Mr. VP.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
That's what they're trying to do. And she did it.
I'm speaking.
She did it when he didn't even interrupt her.
Yeah, he was just like, "What? Yeah, I'm talking."
Yeah, I know. I'm quiet.
What are you talking?
Let's be real. The biggest highlight of that whole debate between Pence and Kamala Harris was the fly on his head.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, he didn't notice. Like, just put your hand up, man. Wave it away.
I guess maybe they're trained not to react to stuff, but yeah, that was weird.
But
was
I mean, it was
big fly.
But yeah, the SAVE Act basically means you have to prove that you're a citizen. A couple states have done, gone through their voter registration. I think Texas found, I think 100,000 people that either were dead, moved, or or felons or illegals that were on their voter registration. So Alabama's done the same thing. They found 90,000 people. I don't know if any other states done it. It's only 2. So yes, I think the SAVE Act. And my big thing is, it's probably not going to make, because somebody argued it's only 0.01% of the voters in Texas. So it's not a big deal. I'm like, some states went down to I think Wisconsin was 12,000 people.
Yeah.
In
it
2016.
It doesn't matter. We need to.
I don't care if it's one
election
person.
So people believe in it. Like, you can't just oh well, yeah, because it's it's only 2% of the population. It's only 2%. It's only 3%. You have to have an election that people believe in, because then once people just completely write off everything, that's when people stop giving a shit, and that's generally when stuff starts getting really bad.
Yes, when you don't, somebody's like, well, it's it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, but I mean, then why do we I think, who was it? The guy from Ohio, I can't remember. Mike Lee. He was like, then why are you trying to pass gun laws?
Well, yeah.
If it's not that big of a deal, gun laws shouldn't be that big of a deal. So people, not the, it's not. It's just stupid fucking shit. Just do it.
I thought
and they're saying they're trying to do it to discriminate against minorities. But I mean, again, you're showing your racism by assuming that blacks and Hispanics can't figure out how to get a birth certificate or any kind of legal documentation showing they're a citizen. I mean, it's up to every state how they want to choose what to do.
Well, that's true.
So if a state did it, because it's state choice of what their basically what SAVE Act is. So let's say Texas, they say, hey, you have to have a birth certificate or, a naturalized citizen or whatever, a citizen, if you go in through the citizenship, that document, whatever. So you can get that. And I think if Texas mandated that you had to show a birth certificate, they should offer free birth, because usually it's a fee to get your birth certificate. Offer to give, for a certain amount of time, hey, get a birth certificate, no charge.
I know it wasn't free when I ordered a bunch of new ones after I thought I lost mine in Mexico.
Well, I mean, that way they can't say that you're trying to disenfranchise people. Somebody can't pay $15 or whatever.
Yeah.
That way anybody can do it. It's free for, let's say, 6 months. Get a free birth.
It's just how people jump on that bandwagon so fast. This is racist against minorities. How is that not racist by you assuming all minorities are poor? There is a shit ton of poor white people in this country.
The guy I argue with, he's like, it's really bad for the it's not fair to the disenfranchised. I asked him, who's the disenfranchised?
Yeah,
because I know what the fuck he meant, because he was being racist as shit.
Yeah,
but
he was being
But I mean, you're trying to do it for the betterment. No, you're saying that fucking minorities can't figure shit out. So you're racist as fuck. I mean, that's what this whole race shit even about is. It's Democrats just thinking that, black people are not equal
But then they feel better about themselves, so it's okay.
Yeah, fucking liberal white women. You're the worst.
They are the worst.
All right, so that's the SAVE Act. Basically, set for your citizen to vote. I mean, states don't have...
That's quite the fault. Yeah, white women. They're the white liberal women. They're the worst. So that's the SAVE Act.
Well, they are. And I think we explained the SAVE Act. Trump indicted again.
Is he, though?
I mean, it's the same charge, but it was dropped. So he just came with it with
a
few things dropped off.
Right?
No, he came up with a whole new set that's exactly the same.
Jack Smith?
Yeah. So it's a whole new indictment, but it's the same indictment. Like they dropped it, but he changed wording on it.
But it doesn't matter. Like it got dropped because he can't.
But he dropped the things that he thought was the bad things. But it's the same.
He's the problem.
I know what the problem is, but he dropped some things because he's trying to sneak it through again. Basically, he's indicting him because Trump looks like he might win.
Yeah, I'd fire that guy for sure. I mean, because the cool thing about being your second term, you don't give a shit about being reelected.
No, fire him. Or fire obviously
I'd just fire everybody.
The head of the fucking FBI, the head of the fucking CIA, the head of the fucking DOJ. Well, obviously Garland's.
I would probably fire. Well, obviously he's going to put his own people at the top of all these, but I would fire probably the first 2 tiers of leadership in every single agency. 2 to 3 tiers.
Fire
just
them all.
Get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, not sorry. Because that's where all the corruption is. Those are the people that, when people are like, oh, the guys know the real secret, it's not the director of the CIA, it's the assistant director, because those people generally never go anywhere unless they get bumped up. It's the people that are 1 or 2 tiers down that are there for life. Those are the problem. The schemers.
The schemers.
Yeah,
good old Batman reference.
So yeah, it'd be nice to see that because I just can't see that going anywhere because it had nothing to do with his indictment. Like him as a human being was the problem, and not being. I guess it had to do with him not being assigned by Congress or the Senate.
Yeah, because you can't be special counsel unless you're assigned by Congress.
Yeah, so he's a loser anyway. He's got no chin.
Well, I
don't know what that has to do with anything, but he's just got a face that makes him look like he probably got picked on a lot. So I'm going to become a lawyer and I'm going to be a prosecutor. And then I'm just going to hey, that guy looks successful. I'm going to take on him. What'd you say about my chin? I said hello.
He's a weird dude. He's very stupid. So Mark Zuckerberg says he was pressured to censor things about the laptop, COVID. I think there's a few other things. Like if you were a conservative, like us, I guess, would be, or a Republican like commenter or, podcast or whatever, you're a conservative, you were getting censored, which he still hasn't fixed. So
yeah, I don't know if he hasn't fixed it like they're doing it on purpose or if they literally just set it up to where if you want people who follow your page to see your posts, you have to pay for it, which is stupid. That's why you need to like, subscribe, comment, and share on stuff because then it tells the algorithm you actually give a shit about the stuff we post. And sometimes I post some pretty funny memes. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
So remember to read the chyron down at the bottom.
But yeah, he basically called it out though. I mean, that was. But some people were saying the reason why he put that letter out saying he did it and he's not donating any money this year is, I guess it's a conspiracy theory, but some people are saying that he can read the algorithms or the, what do you call that? Trends.
He can basically read what everybody's discussing, what mentions, I don't
know if his AI bot goes through all of that and then does a prediction.
Well, I'm sure he's not reading through everybody's comments.
No, but I'm thinking I don't know if it's an algorithm as much as he tells his AI bot, hey, scroll through all this, look for this, and then predict the likely outcome for the presidential election.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because people are saying that he did this because he thinks that Trump is going to win.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to get fucking.
And why would you think that if he's down in the polls? Because my talkie box told me.
My talkie bots. Yeah, so he's a coward. Do you want to go through the inflation reduction that Kamala Harris pretty much?
I do want to mention that. Yeah,
the Inflation Reduction Act is actually like a smaller Green New Deal, other than an inflation reduction.
Yeah, that was actually part of the interview, but she literally, like, when she was like trying to like counter the whole flip-flopping on a record thing, and like she's like, no, I'm all about renewable energies and saving the planet and climate change, because we had all of this in the Inflation Reduction Act. It's like, okay, so you just admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act was bullshit and it was just the Green New Deal. Just like how they're saying that Trump, stopped that border bill from going through, or if anybody actually read it, that border bill would have done pretty much nothing to stem the flow of illegal.
Also, they had like earmarks for almost $100 billion.
Most of the money in that bill went to
other shit. Went to Ukraine.
Yeah.
So, if you want to blame anything on these immigration fucking bills not passing, blame the fucking pork belly that fucking gets put onto it. It's garbage. Your senators are garbage. Your representatives are garbage because both sides do this.
But I'll tell you what, just like
stop voting for them. Demand demand term limits.
Demand it. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter, but demand it.
You can demand it. You can write. Yeah. You can say you're not going to vote for them.
You get the states involved.
You do need to get states involved.
I forgot what it's called, but there's a thing.
It's an amendment.
Yeah, but there's a thing that the states can do. It's like a conference or something.
I don't know.
It's not it though. I'll think of it tomorrow. All the words that I can't think of during the show that make me look really dumb, I think about like as soon as I get off camera.
So
Convention of States.
There you go. Convention of States.
That's probably not it. I think it is though.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, basically it's garbage. We knew what the Inflation Reduction Act, because I read through some of it, and basically it was a bunch of Green New Deal bullshit. It had nothing to do with the economy. It was a ribbon on a gift that was filled with shit.
If you have any bill, especially if it's an Inflation Reduction Act and it has a big ass price tag on it, it's going to make inflation worse.
Yeah. It should have $0 on it. It should just be a plan.
Like an Inflation Reduction Act would actually be an act that is full of government cuts.
Yes.
Like that's what that would be.
Yeah. It had no cuts. What it did was spend a bunch more money on, they spent $9 billion or $8 billion on 8 fucking charging stations so far.
Yeah.
Or 80 billion, something like that.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it probably run off diesel generators.
I was going to do Trump and his stance on abortion, but I was wrong on it because the clip I saw, somebody just cut because, that's the media.
Yeah. He talked about that one where someone asked if the bill was on his desk, if he'd sign it.
No, on the title, or on the, Title IV or something in Florida. Basically what somebody said is like, would you vote for Title or whatever, the Title IV or something? So basically what it is if it passes, Florida would have to put in its constitution to allow abortion up to 9 months.
There's no way in hell it would.
No, but he said 6 weeks was too short of time, but 9 months was way too long, so he would not vote for that.
What
they cut out was what they put in was the 6 weeks was too short a time, and they just cut it off there. They didn't put the part where he said, but 9 months is way too long and dramatic. That's basically killing a person, and that he would not vote for it. They just put the first little part.
Is 6 weeks basically a heartbeat, Bill?
Yep.
See, that's like one of those things, though, Kevin, because what pronounces you as dead, technically, is a lack of a heartbeat. So.
Yep. I'm not saying he's right on this. I'm just saying, like, he's going to vote no on it.
Didn't give a concise answer, though, because this just happened today, I think. Someone asked him whether or not he would sign a federal ban on abortion if it hit his desk, and he wouldn't answer it. He's saying it's in the right place.
Well, he knows that there's probably a few people. I mean,
I would say no. It's not the federal government's place. Abortion is where it needs to be at the state level. He said that, but he left out the no part.
I know, but I think it should be banned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, but
unless it's like for
unless they may
obviously, except for rape, incest, and if it's the mother's going to die because.
But unless they make it a constitutional amendment, there's no place for it in the federal government. Period.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter. Like even if they passed a federal law, someone's going to sue, take it to the Supreme Court. They're going to be like, "Oh, this isn't covered under the Constitution, so yeah, this doesn't."
Now
stand.
hold on. It depends when. It depends when. It depends when they take it to the Supreme Court. They take it now, you're right. But if the Democrats win, they're going to pass the Supreme Court to where.
But like I could see with the court they have now, even with 6-3 whatever, they're still going to strike it down if they make a good argument because abortion is not covered under the Constitution.
But if it's a 10-3 or a 10-6,
it doesn't. What I'm saying is, if they win and pack the court, they would strike down the law. What I'm saying is, right now, with the Supreme Court we have right now,
even if there's a federal ban,
it would get struck down.
Yes,
it doesn't matter
because
it's not constitutional.
Exactly.
So, like, it's moot. That's why it's at the state level.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, I understand why the abortion thing's such a hot ticket because, again, liberal women are the worst and they don't understand how the government works.
Well, and apparently they're just obsessed with hookup culture. And
why are the gays women even concerned?
What are they?
Yes. They're like one of the loudest people about it. My body. You've never seen the fat, blue-haired,
well, yeah,
manliest fucking mustachioed women who actually has a vagina.
It's like, are you projecting? Is this really a problem you're dealing with?
Yeah. Like, there is no man sleeping with you. You have no problem with this.
I don't know, Kevin. There's somebody.
Yeah, there's some thirst trap fucking beta male.
Why do you think the left has men on their side? Why do you think there's male feminists?
If I had ovaries, I would also want to kill my baby.
Here's an idea. If you're that into it, then just get your tubes tied and do the country a favor.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying. It's weird.
I had no problem with them doing vasectomies.
The funny thing is like
I have a problem with them doing abortions at the DNC.
I was just never
vasectomies. I had no problem.
Oh yeah, it's like, and the problem is there was a decent amount of abortions done over the DNC weekend.
Like 30 of them.
Abortion van. The funny thing is I feel like the left pushed me to how hard of a stance I have on it now.
I
used to be indifferent to it. Like, I guess it was like, yeah, whatever. But then when I started hearing the numbers,
second trimester, that doesn't seem horrible.
And you see these whores, and I'm sorry, if you have a shirt that says I had 15 abortions and I love them, you're a whore.
Yeah. Here's the problem is what always is the problem is, it was up to the second trimester, then a state, I can't remember what state it did, tried to pass a law to where it's up to, up till birth and possibly past birth. And that's when this whole thing started. The Democrats started this. I mean, mostly, there was always obviously there's
rare, safe, and legal.
Yeah, obviously there was always, the pro-life people. And I was also indifferent to it. So, but once they started making it a big deal, I'm anti-abortion.
Well, it's because you start looking into it and you start looking at all the numbers and what's happening and
how racist it is.
Yeah, it is super racist. It's like they're still doing eugenics.
Yeah, we would have 30 million more black people in this country if it wasn't for abortions.
Yeah, I mean, think about that, and then think about all the people pushing it. Damn, Kevin.
Like fucking cat, man.
That dude wants in there.
I guess. Jesus.
All right, well, that probably wraps that up.
Yeah.
It was like rolling into the White Slur of the Week on a hot note. So let's get into the White Slur of the Week, Kevin.
White Slur of the Week.
What's a honky?
What's that? All right, my white slur of the week is vamp. The lack of melanin resembles the pale skin of a vampire. Or also, it could be because vampires need blood, and white people tend to look cold and in need of a blood transfusion. So this week, call your white buddy a vamp.
What's a honky?
That was a good one. You know, it's funny when I was sitting there talking to you, I forgot that people couldn't hear me talking to you because for some reason, I don't even know how I did it. I guess I have my cursor over the transition button, so I hit it twice. But you know what? I love that Chiron or that roll in or whatever the hell they're called.
Too.
Stinger. I love that stinger. So, you know, I can listen to that all day.
Hell yeah. All right, Josh, you got anything else?
Nope.
Neither do I. So I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this was the lost art of common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Common sense.
Keep that vinyl spinning.
And try, don't be boring, be a pirate. We'll see you next week, everybody.